On air.
We are back on there. Okay, we'll just let this... Yes, we're back, everybody. Apologies about that. My goodness me, Rob, I thought I had a stroke there for a short moment. Everything just stopped. Everything went black and the lights went out. Boom. Doo! And that was it. But we are back.
What a plot twist that is, though, Trev. I mean, the Chinese submarine was taking our drivers and now they've worked their way up to the commentary booth. What an absolute plot twist that is.
Well, I tell you what, it's something going on, that's for sure. We've lost the great man Bob Hawke. We lost Harold Holt, Bob Hawke, submarines. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we are back on the air. And boys, Truss there with a 1:16.444 as just under 7 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Straight back down to business. True professionals. Aren't we, Rob, in this business? Just everything going off, but we're back now, and Jace, 8/10 behind him. And heard a bit of a rumour there could be possible an advantage in the slipstream here in this track.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise me, Trev, especially at an oval like this. You will get a bit of a drag around, and just to quickly check, every time I... Hang on. Mansfield coming back. Just when I change cameras, does it change for you?
It certainly does. We are riding now
brilliant.
with Righty and part of the Frankston Hooligans. It looks as though Jason has a penalty there. 8/10 off Truss in P1 as Righty writes his car off in this qualifying session. Now as we take a look at Mighty Murph, the man who had that drive-through penalty last week but went on to finish third, of course, in the race last week at Alton Park. We ride on board now with our Kiwi friend. He's currently 5/10 off pole position with a 16.9, so 3 drivers now in the 1:16s here tonight, and look at that, so close. And you've got to say there, Rob, Cart Dude striking a blow first ahead of Big Dick Jono, just getting one up on Big Dick Johnson in this championship battle.
Yeah, he certainly got one up on him at the moment, and probably this might be the most important section of tonight is the qualifying, to see if he can get ahead of the nearest rival, of course. And actually, he's 3 places in front of Big Dick Jono. So that if that was the race there, the championship's all over and done with. But Truss, as you can see, who is sitting on pole at the moment. That is Cart Dude's teammate and probably his biggest wingman tonight. Sort of Valtteri Bottas style from 2017 and 18 there. So certainly I reckon he'll be giving his old mate Cart Dude, old mate Taswegian Cart Dude, a helping hand.
He certainly will be, but boy, do not call Valtteri Bottas a wingman in 2019. Lewis getting the better of him in that really enthralling race last week at Catalunya. As we take a look at the qualifying notes tonight, ambient temperature of 30 degrees, track temperature of 34 degrees, medium cloud, fastest lap on the PS4, Rob, was a 1:17.7, but boy, 4 of the top 5 have completely blitzed that already. Expecting a pole time of a high 1:16. And like we said, Rob, we've got to look for these teams helping each other out with the slipstream, like we made mention of a little bit earlier. But with under 4 minutes to go in this session, it's Truss currently on P1 in this session now on provisional pole, but hopefully he doesn't go missing like I did a little bit earlier on this evening, or like he did last week at the first corner. Cart Dude in second, not too far, less than a 10th behind Truss there. Mighty Murph in third. Pretty impressive, eh? And then Jason in fourth, followed by Big Dick Johnson rounding out your top 5. 3.5 minutes to go, Rob.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes, and still a lot of time on track. It's not a very a long lap around here, quite quick as well. In the qualifying notes, very interestingly though, it's at a minute 16, a high minute 16, and we've already smashed that, so it's looking very, very good for Truss and Cart Dude there. Team Tasmania, Team 2 Heads. I don't think I could say any much more about that, and just having a look through the list here, and Waffles is sitting at the bottom of the ladder here at the moment. If he continues his performance like that, that might be a bit of a disastrous spell for him. But who knows? And there you go. He's up behind Big Dick Jono now. So here we go. It's going to be a very, very spicy. I might have to trademark that tonight, Trev. Spicy race tonight.
Just like the number 15 I had, I think it was Thai green curry. It could have been a curry laxer tonight from Noodle Box for you. Big thank you. Big shout out to them. Also a shout out to Hayne at 1994 who says, hey again, yes, we are back. We are back, and it all went black, Hayne. That's right. I think I had a bit of a power outage, which explained my complete disappearance a moment ago. But boy, championship decider doesn't get much spicier than this. As we take a look now, look at this. Are these boys just trying a bit of slipstreaming action here tonight, you would have thought. And 2 minutes to go, V8 man and an ex-champion, of course, of this SRL stuff. And I wonder whether he'll be looking to help out his teammate here tonight in the final race we are going to see with these lovely Renault Megans. Before we head next week, of course, the Acura NSX GT3s. We will be seeing them next week, of course, so keep an eye out for that as V8 man looked to just lock up a bit of a wheel there. And now Waffles, what can he do? He comes across the line, could be to start a qualifying run with 1.5 minutes remaining in this session. So now is the time, Rob. Thank you very much for that, Speedo, that these drivers need to start thinking about making their final runs.
Yeah, certainly this is probably about the time, and I guess the top two there in the pits at the moment, Truss and Cartu, they must be feeling extremely confident because they do not have enough time now to get back on circuit and get a flying lap done. But Waffles and Bits here, I think he might have just enough time within maybe the last few seconds to start another lap if he chooses to do so to improve his time. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be really, really interesting. I mean, considering the asphalt around here really isn't asphalt. It's a bit of a half-breed mix of asphalt and concrete. So not a lot of grip out there, and these cars are hard enough to control already. You can see on the concrete there, the pavement, that car's not liking it a lot at all. But Waffles really putting the power down now, trying to get the big speed out of this car to the 6th gear. Now he's got to keep that on the inside line there. Probably the quickest line for the road course setup that these cars would have. And what time does he put across? He goes third quickest.
Third quickest there for Waffles. 0.02 of a second. 2 milliseconds ahead of Mighty Murph. But it's all down to this man. And he looks to be in some traffic though. But, oh no. He's made a slight mistake there coming out of that corner. It's a tough one coming out of that hairpin there, and that could mean that he might not improve, Rob. But can he get a slipstream here?
Yeah, no, he's already taken enough time into that lap, and yeah, he's not going to be improving. So Big Dick Jono starts 6th, unless somebody else knocks him off from his position there. Wilco, though, a big winner out of all that, starting 5th. This is probably his best qualifying result this season with this car, starting in 5th there. The man, probably his best qualifying result too, starting in 7th. So this is a good result for V8 man. Really, really struggled this season with this car, but expect him to bounce back in the GT3 car for next week. P7
for that man on your screen, like we said. A champion here in SRL. And well, speaking of points, Rob, we know that we might be seeing a lot of spicy action in 30 laps around this circuit here tonight. But if they finished as they do now, you'd have to say I think Cartu would win the championship by a point. But I highly doubt, with the sort of action we've seen in previous weeks, that they're going to finish where they started. As we take a look at the final drivers coming around now to finish their qualifying runs. Andy, can he improve on P10? No, he can't. And the final qualifying results, there they are on your screen. Truss, like he did last week, taking pole position here for the race tonight ahead of Cart Dude, who is looking for that second elusive SRL championship. He starts in P2, very close at the top there. And then it's Waffles and Bits in 3rd. So 2 of the 3 title contenders in the top 3, and that makes for a very interesting race. Then it's Mighty Murph in P4. Pretty happy, eh? And then Jason Wilco, 19, who's sitting in P5. Big Dick Jono in P6. He'll need to be on the comeback trail if he's going to win this championship here tonight, but he does start with the 7-point advantage. And V8 man, we just love Dane, don't we? Righty in 8th, Fubbles in 9th, Andy Holden rounding out your top 10 as we get ready to go racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. As Piston Broke 05 says, well done, Truss. Thank you for joining us. But Rob, what a race we've got in store.
What a race. And Cart Dude and Waffles need 8 points. 8 points to pinch it away from Big Dick Jono. And as you can see there, he's actually starting 5th because Jason Wilkinson did end up getting a penalty from that qualifying session there. So Big Dick Jono is just one step closer to getting that all-elusive trophy. Gee, my words aren't coming out tonight, Trev.
I know what you mean, Rob. Don't you worry about that. So that grid penalty, in fact, a bit like Felipe Massa taking a penalty for Fernando Alonso a few years ago. I think it was in America as well. There you go. So that gives Big Dick Johnson the inside line for turn 1 as well. That turn 1 is very, very difficult, as Hayne 1994 will attest to. So big hello to our everyone watching the stream so far, Hayne and Piston Broke 05, beloved regulars, as we are getting ready 30 laps around this circuit here tonight to decide the champion for season number 4. And some exciting times ahead, like we said, which we'll go into in a bit more detail later on this evening. But this is the final round with these Renault Megane V6s. And I don't think too many people are going to be upset about that are on this grid tonight. Just the 10 starters here tonight. Like we said, it's about the men in 2nd, 3rd and 5th. The battle for the championship, of course. Don't forget about the pit stops. We'll be changing from dries to wets. And we're expecting, Rob, medium cloud, but it will start raining midway through the race.
Yeah, and that's going to make it insanely hard, especially considering the majority of this circuit is a bit of a bowl. I mean, it's not going to fill up like we all wish that Victoria would, but a lot of water on a slippery slope, and that's almost a recipe for disaster, so we're going to see how that happens. But Trev, you want to call it away?
Here we go, lights out, away we go. The start of the championship finale here at Texas Motor Speedway. Streaming down, Cart Dude takes the lead off of Truss in the opening metres of this race. Mighty Murph slots into 3rd with Big Dick Johnson. Big Dick Jono down to P6 and now P7. What is happening to our championship leader as they come streaming around approaching turn 1? Cart Dude holds the inside line. Waffles creeps up into P2 and he's alongside Cart Dude now. The 2 championship contenders looking to go side by side into that corner. Truss once again losing positions off the start as now Big Dick Jono up into P4. So 3 out of the 4 title contenders are in the top 4 places, Rob, in the opening lap.
Yeah, that's really interesting to see. Now, Cart Dude's lost the lead. Waffles has taken on. Didn't see how it happened, but I'm assuming it's on the inside. So good move from Waffles and Bits there. Even though I didn't see it, I'm just predicting what happened. Cart Dude back in the 2nd, Truss in the 3rd, Big Dick Jono up in the 4th, and if my mathematics are correct at this point, Waffles and Bits will be the champion if it stays this way.
But you know, it is not. We've got rain coming midway through the race. We've got a long, long way to go then. So it's Waffles in P1, 2 tenths behind him is Cart Dude. Truss in P3, losing 2 positions off the start line. Then Big Dick Jono, who had a bad start, didn't he? Dropped behind Jason Wilkinson, of course, and then he's got back up to P4. V8 man, he had a good start. Started P7, now up to P5 in this race. Lap 2 out of 30. Waffles leads Cart Dude, leads Truss, leads Big Dick Jono, and very close indeed. There could have been some contact there. Mighty Murph, don't forget about him down in P8. And Fubbles, who must have had an incident, Rob, he's down to P10 and currently sitting in last place.
Yeah, I mean, he's struggled with these cars this season, Trevor. Probably not the easiest car to drive on a pad, so I do feel sorry for Fubbles there, but he'll be enjoying going back to a GT3 car next week, I'm sure. But Waffles and Bits doing a very good job at the moment, opening up a little bit of a gap, half a second at this point, so that's a good gap to be to be had in between you in second place on the second lap. So he'll be really happy with his result. But Cartoon, of course, will be getting the slipstream at the moment. So will Trust. Trust being the, I guess, the wingman tonight for Cartoon. The two Sodi Motorsport drivers playing the team games. But Big Dick Jono is lurking behind this pack. And let's just say that he'll be licking his lips hoping they come together.
Yes, he will be waiting for that, sitting back like Stephen Bradbury at the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Big Dick Jono, you couldn't have picked a better PSN name if you've got us commentating you. But lap 3 out of 30, and look at this, very, very aggressive indeed. Oh, Big Dick Jono looking down the inside of Trust there. Is he going to make a move? He's side by side, and now he's up to third. This is absolutely incredible. You couldn't script it better. Jono, Waffles and Cart Dude, not all in that order, but the three championship contenders in the top 3 places now. As Fubbles, we don't give a shit about you down there in P9 because the action's all at the front at the moment. Sorry, you can hear the excitement in my voice because this is just what the people at home want to see.
Contact.
And Big Dick Johnson is around. And he'd better whack it into reverse. Disaster for Jono. What happened there, Rob?
I don't know, but I did see a little bit of contact on the inside of, I do believe it was Cart Dude's car. That just turned him around. So very interesting what happened there. If Big Dick Jono got on the inside of Cart Dude and Cart Dude slammed the door shut, or if there was just a little bit of argy-bargy and unfortunately that's how it's ended. But Big Dick Jono has a lot of work to do now.
He does have a lot of work to do, but it's not the end of the world, of course. Think back to Lewis Hamilton back in Brazil 2008. Is that Glock? So don't despair too much. He's got his teammate there up in 5th. Could he potentially help Jono out in the championship fight? Could he hold up cars? And then again, he's got to think about his own race as well. And he's keeping Mighty Murph honest, you've got to say. But that gap now at the front, just half a second, 2 seconds further back to Truss. So I hate to say it, but we don't want this to become a 2-horse race. But I've got a feeling Jono, Rob, he's done it again, and he's done it before, I should say, and he's got to do it again here tonight and be on the comeback drive.
Oh, certainly on the comeback drive, but it's really hard to be the, how can I put it, in really simple terms that isn't Ron speak. It's when you're racing for a championship, it's so hard not to be a little bit biffo or a little bit nervous, and you can make mistakes under pressure. And I don't exactly know what happened there. I'm not going to put not put words in Big Dick Jono's mouth there, but yeah, certainly when you're under pressure, you can make little mistakes, and little mistakes under this sort of pressure turn out to be championship deciding ones. But he has done a good job. He's back up in P7. And he's only a couple of seconds away from Andy Holden, so if he can keep this pace up, he'll be on the back of this pack and certainly getting their draft in very, very soon.
And have a look at this. V8 Man and Mighty Murph doing battle for 4th place. There's nothing between them. And Andy says, give me some of that as well. There's contact. Contact there between V8 Man 51 and Mighty Murph, and Andy just behind them. And like you said, Rob, all the while that's keeping Big Dick Jono behind them. Little do they know, these three, that they've got a Big Dick Jono coming from behind us. Oh, my goodness. Mighty Murph has spun around the man, well, he's half spun, the man that finished on the podium last week. And now the teammates, look at this, and Big Jono, Big Dick Johnson, is ahead of his teammate. And you can just picture the team radio. Shh, Dane. Big Dick Johnson is faster than you. Confirm you acknowledge. So he is through now, and he's currently up to 5th. And this could be an interesting fight now as he approaches Andy, who is in P4.
Yeah, he approaches Andy. I'm just going to quickly say that car 2, which is VA Man, made contact with the back of Mighty Murph there. So that might be something to be looked into after the race, and that might certainly shape the Constructors' Championship. But at the moment, Big Dick Jono's having a look on the outside of Andy Holden, and he's just gone a little bit too deep and a little bit too wide, and that's let Vietnam back through, and that's left old man Wilco licking his lips thinking what could be.
Well, Jason now in P7, and you can see there Big Dick Jono getting back past his teammate without too many issues, I don't think. I wonder if there's going to be some team orders. And Piston Broke saying V8 pushing to make room for F1 there. So that is interesting. Some team tactics, you've got to say, potentially. But the gap at the front now, as we look at Andy, what a performance from Andy, Rob. He started in P10, now up to P4.
Yes, on his day, he's one of the hardest drivers to get past, and I can attest to that on the Friday night leagues. He almost like a bit of a truly train sometimes. We'll put a really good qualifying lap, and then during the race, you kind of have to follow him around until he either makes a mistake or his car breaks down, and thankfully he doesn't have a Toyota, so he just makes a mistake. But yeah, very, very solid race, Andy Holden, and very consistent. So probably one of the few circuits that really, really suits him well. And he does quite like driving this car as well. So you can see that just in deep. And the independent lock-up on the left front there, going very, very deep. But Big Dick Jono, I think he's really, really feeling the pressure at the moment, Trev.
He certainly is, but if there's a man who's cool, calm and collected in this sort of situation, he's won races, he's been out the front, he's come back before, and like we said, he needs to do it again, but he can't really get held up, can he, by Andy? I shouldn't say held up by Andy. Is down the inside, Wilco. Down the inside of Murph. Murph hanging it around the outside. He's not too happy with that. And Stephen McDonald says, hello there. Your man Fubs in P9 as Murph slightly locks up a brake. Now Jace, who's looking to do a bit of a crisscross move there, but he'll slot in nicely behind him here and hopefully get some slipstream. As now, boy, where has this race gone? Don't forget, it's going to start raining midway through this race. Lap 8 out of 30 now. Cart Dude, is he going to get a bit of a slipstream here in the Logitech car? I reckon he's going to have a go here, Rob.
Yeah, certainly he's going to have a go here around the outside, just like two trailer park girls, but he's not going to take the risk just yet. There's no point in doing that. And probably Cartu, probably one of the best wet weather races out there. Certainly one of the hardest I've come across. Probably really looking forward to that wet weather to spice it up a little. Of course, he's a kart racer over in Tasmania, so karts are quite slidey generally by themselves. So maybe he's looking for that rain just to give him a little bit of an edge in the in this race here.
He certainly will be, but like you said, just currently biding his time for the time being. And you can see that the top three drivers all in the 117s as that battle continues. Have a look at that. Andy, Mighty Murph, Big Dick Jono, all together there. 4th, 5th and 6th, and even 7th, Wilco. Only separated by a second or two as V8 man dropping down now. I don't know what happened to him.
He's got the draft here. He's got the draft here, Trev.
Here he goes. Cart Dude now, slipstream and all. As he's very close, he looks to get out there, but he breaks the slipstream and goes side by side across the line to start lap 9 of this race. Riding on board here, it's Cart Dude, Waffles and Cart Dude, Thorpe and Hackett and Thorpe. There's nothing in it. And yes, have a look at this. Down to turn 1, Cart Dude stays on the outside. Waffles there, breaks a little bit late now. Cart Dude could potentially have a look at him. But this is incredible racing here tonight. 9 laps gone, 21 laps to go as we've got the Tier 2 results coming through. Tooley in first, Womp in second, Cheese and Noodles in third, Connor in fourth, It's the Wolf fifth and Compact 6th. And Womp is the Tier 2 winner of the championship. So congratulations to Womp for winning the Tier 2 championship. He's not just a great photographer, he's also a pretty good racer as well.
Yeah, well done to Womp there. Really nice guy as well. So congratulations to Womp and everybody else in that Tier 2 as well. That's one of the closest tiers that we've had so far. Of course, we had a very tight Tier 2 last season as well, but a lot of good competition there. So I'm proud of those boys. I'm really proud of Womp. But at the moment, this is the championship we've all been waiting for. 7 points in it. Cart Dude in second. Waffles at first, but Big Dick Jono has worked himself up to 4th, Trev. This is absolutely unbelievable stuff from our reigning champion.
This is absolutely unbelievable, and just to cap it all off are those raindrops I see on my screen here in front of me. But, 20 laps to go. Big Dick Johnson's cleared a path for himself. He's split away from that pack. that midfield pack of Mighty Murph Jason, V8 man there as well. So he's currently, well, he's in a bit of no man's land at the moment. He's 11 seconds off of Truss in P3, and he's about 8 seconds ahead of that battle we just spoke of. And it's going to be a very big, it's going to be hard for Big Dick to catch the leaders without that slipstream. Hey, 1994, I totally see what you did there. Thank you for the comment. Keep getting your comments in, because it's not over yet. Like we said, Rob, the rain is a-coming, as Cartoon half a second behind Waffles now. What is going through his mind? Like you said, Rob, you're a racer yourself. What is going through their minds, these drivers? 3 drivers in with a shot of a championship. What are they thinking at this moment as the rain begins to fall?
That's a good question, and I have a lot of expletives to answer your question, but I'll try and do it the Christian way, if you will. And that, Cartoon's right on the back of Waffle and Bits there. Just quickly, Trev, around the outside. This hasn't worked out for him in the previous laps, and of course he's not going to do it again. But he's certainly got the pressure on Waffles here. It's up the outside of Waffles. Really, really giving the pressure on now, and so is Truss actually on the back of his own teammate. Just trying to push him along, so hurry up. But yeah, I mean, in this situation, it's not a comfortable one, especially when you go for a championship. You're just trying to drive to the best of your abilities, but at the same time, not try and overdrive the car. It's so easy to overdrive a car and make mistakes. So you just got to keep calm and try and make sure that pressure that's on you at that point in time doesn't affect you too much. But it's easier said than done, and I tell you what, these boys are doing a good job of not letting the pressure get to them at the moment.
They certainly are not. They're very, very professional. Look at this, first, second, third, all on your picture, and all together just 4 tenths. Make that 3 tenths separating them at the moment. As, the inside, look at this. There's a good shot for your Womp. As Truss slots in behind his teammate. No team orders here at Sodi Motorsport, that's for sure. As they're all 3 of them, they're 3 wide. And Neil says Truss best for the win with the big wet about to hit. Thank you, Neil Haynes, for your comments. As look at this, Waffles still in the lead as we ride inside the car. That's right, perfect images coming through here. And Cartoon into the lead now, Rob. Can he stay there with the rain beginning to fall?
That's a good question, and I'm not going to answer because this circuit is incredibly hard in the wet, especially doing GT3 cars here last season myself. Not very easy to drive on, and that was actually a championship decider as well. And a lot of pressure that day as well. Andy Holden making it really, really hard that particular day, but these boys are really, really putting in a good job, and a really, really good show. And if Big Dick Jono doesn't put the foot down, I could see him probably being runner-up tonight. So he's got a lot of work to do. Of course, there's 25 points and then 20 points between first and second. So Truss is the one. He's the key at the moment. If Truss ends up going somewhere, these boys are in a little bit of world of hurt when it comes to the point situation, but we won't worry about that for the moment. But Waffles and Bits getting a little bit sliding on that last lap, a little bit of pressure, and Cartoon just giving a little bit of a love tap, unsettling him a little bit. Of course, we don't like contact, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of paddle rubbing, and of course Waffles and Bits will be looking for that little bit of vengeance. We know how good this dude is, so this could be really, really exciting, especially with this little drizzle we've got now. The circuit cooling down, tyres getting a little bit more greasy. When will the crossover point be? We don't know, and I'm not going to say when it is because it's so hard to tell when you're sitting here just looking at it.
Yes, it's a lot easier for us up here in the commentary box, except when when all the lights go out and the submarine strikes. But 10 people watching this stream. Oh boy, don't we love this? And I reckon Big Dick Jono will be thinking, I hope Truss wins this race. Because if, my arithmetic, which is always suspect, like I say each and every week, I reckon that'll give F1 Rocks the championship by a point, I believe. Because, of course, I think we're using the F1 style point system, Rob. And that would mean 18 points for second, 12 points for Big Dick Johnson in fourth. And currently coming into this round, 7 points up. He would win the championship by a point. But anyway, a long, long way to go 14 out of 30 laps completed. Almost half the race gone and almost half still to go as the rain falls. When will that crossover time be? I hear you ask. Everybody, get your comments in on the live stream right now so you can get a shout out. Neil Haynes, Steve McDonald, Piston Broke 05. That's me this week. It's off pay week, but anyway, never mind about that. So much to look forward to, you've got to say, as the top three. What on earth am I going on about as the top three? Now look how close it is. 118.1 for both Cartoon and Waffles last time around. Where the bloody hell are you, Jason Wilkinson? Well, I'll tell you, he's currently in P5. Our man Wilco, 11 seconds behind Big Dick Johnson as the rain begins to fall even heavier now. Lap time still not there yet, says Hayne, 1994. So when are we going to see that crossover period? I've got no idea. But like you said, Rob, it's a lot easier when you're sitting up here in the commentary box.
Yeah, it's a lot easier sitting up here. Honestly, though, it's a lot easier to tell if the track's getting wet with a wheel in your hand. So I'm not going to say when it's the crossover point. Certainly the times will be the big indicator, but sometimes those times can lie as well. When it's a bit wet and you've got slicks on and they're really, really hot slicks, you can still get some pretty good performance out of them. So it's a big, big question that I'm not willing to answer at this point. But Waffles and Bits really, really closing up on the back of Cartoon at the moment. Cartoon really, he's just sitting there at the moment. He's really played the patient game tonight, Trev. Really impressed with Cartoon's tactics. Waffles and Bits probably take a little bit from Cartoon at the moment, but certainly pushing him a lot harder than Carty did. Just waiting, of course, a few laps ago, Cartoon just waited for Waffles to make a little bit of a mistake, getting on the throttle a little bit too early and having a bit of a moment. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very spicy one at the end of this one, Trev. Certainly will be.
Hayne just piping up with his 2 cents. He says, pit when it's wet. LOL, so that's not bad advice. I don't know about you. I don't know what the technical term or the meteorologist term is, but it's absolutely pissing down here at the moment. And you've got to say, those wet tyres are not far away. That pit stop is going to be very, very close, you'd have to say. Boy, am I talking a bit loud. I better keep my voice down here. But anyway, lap 16 out of 30, they're still close. As you can see here, coming into turn 1 now, Cartoon just 2 tenths ahead. You can visually see the gap. In fact, what gap? There is nothing between them at the moment in the opening 16 laps of this race. Truss just dropping a bit further back. I thought this might, with these three guys battling, it might give Big Dick Jono a chance to maybe catch up down there in 4th, but he's pretty much still in no man's land. Ahead of Wilco in P5, V8 man P6 there. Fubbles hasn't got a penalty yet. He's in P7. Andy in P8 after his strong start to the race. And Mighty Murph way down there in his own time zone down in P9.
Yeah, down at P9, and also Waffles and Bits has passed Cartoon again. Cartoon getting a little bit of understeer into the second last corner there. So that let Waffles and Bits through. So he'll be really happy. But the unfortunate thing is, when you're a leader of a race with changeable conditions like this, is you're the pioneer. So you choose when they're coming for the wets at this point, and it's not a great position to be in. A Cartoon getting that little bit of bud draft from Truss here. It's all of a sudden it's turned into French NASCAR, especially with these little Renaults.
Here we go as Cartoon now have a look at this. Side by side, they stick together. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting a little bit confused there. Laps, here we go, Waffles in the lead. And Truss, is he going to make a move as well? 11 people watching this live stream here tonight in the great state of Texas. They say everything's bigger in Texas and greater in Texas, and what a race we're seeing here tonight. It really is pissing down at the moment. And look at that, the top 4 drivers in the 118s. Jono a little bit quicker than the lead trio on that last lap. And now Truss, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the man who is a good qualifier. He started on pole last week as well and this week. Just couldn't quite get the start right this time. And he's dropped down a position or 2. But they're calling for it. Truss just watching the fight for the championship unfold, says Piston Broke 05. Haynes says pit next lap, boys. And boy, it looks to be clearing up a little bit, but still the cloud there hanging around this circuit. And it's going to be very, very close. The lap time's starting to go off a little bit, but they're still pretty competitive. As still not wet enough, says Piston Broken. Look at this. Truss has got the perfect position to watch this championship battle here tonight. He's got front row seats to this one. And 12 laps to go. They're still not pitting in. They're going around for another go, Rob.
Yeah, they're having another go at it, and why not? Good luck to them as well. You can see Waffles there trying to take a little bit of a wider line, seeing if that works in the wet. Of course, the great Ayrton Senna used to be able to do that as well in changeable conditions. Find the grip where there shouldn't be any grip, and looks like Waffles is having a go at that at the moment. They call it the go-kart line. Schumacher turned that phrase, but at the moment, it's just so arguably tight at the front here, and I've got to say it's a very gentlemanly move from Truss, Trev, to let these two have at it. The championship is pretty much in their laps, and he's not getting involved in it. It's a very gentlemanly thing to do from old man Truss.
It certainly is very gentlemanly indeed. And you can just see, like we've said, he's just sitting back there, isn't he? Watching and waiting for either one of these two guys to make a mistake. But the lead is changing hands all the time. Look at this. Kart Dude has just got his nose in front, I think. There's nothing in it. And down the inside now, Waffles makes the move, but Kart Dude could come back at him heading into turn 2, you'd reckon. Turns 2 and 3 here. Is he going to make a move? No. Just decides to stick in there behind the car. I'm not sure what I'm saying there, but that keeps Truss interested as well. Not too much else happening further down the field, of course, so it's all about this lead trio at the moment. And Piston Broke says awkward. Tyres are 1/4 left on the lead cars. And DJ Wolf saying Tooley got the win in Tier 2. We said congratulations to him. But 11 laps to go in this one. And like we said last week, we're not betting men, Rob, but it's hard to pick a winner here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's certainly hard to pick a winner, but I'll take the Quinella at the moment. That's looking like a pretty safe bet, Trev, but yeah, certainly it's really hard to predict at this point, and got to say Waffles and Bits is looking pretty good at the moment. He's led the most laps of this race. Kart Dude's been having trouble through the what did I call it? The in-course section of this circuit, trying to keep pace with Waffles and Bits, but he's certainly got the pace on the bowl section of Texas Speedway. So, is he leaving it a bit too late at this point to make a move, Trev?
Oh, I wonder. Wonder. Why? Anyway, so lap 20 out of 30 now. Waffles is, well, that's a good question, Rob. I've forgotten the question, in fact. But look at this, the gap. This is the most we've seen it for a few laps now. Nearly up to a second. I tell you what, I've been totally thrown out by that Chinese submarine earlier on this evening. And, of course, we lost the great Bob Hawke. There'll be no poverty in Australia by 1992. Well, what happened to that, Bobby? Rest in peace. Fuck you, Bob. As oh no, we can't say that, can we? 89 still.
I said puck, miss. Puck. I said puck you, miss.
Puck you, miss. Anyway, it's that time again of the race where we start talking a little bit strange, but hang in there, everybody watching the stream tonight, because this is the championship decider, isn't it? This is where it's at. And they still haven't come into the pits as the rain is coming down. And as my old man says, I've never seen it go up before. But look at that last lap from Waffles, 118.8 compared to Kart Dude, 119.4. So that gap always...
Oh, Waffles has made a mistake.
Waffles, the back end slipping out of his car there. These Renault Meganes very, very tricky on the rear end, and that Kart Dude, like we said, still keeping it very gentlemanly there, Rob, electing not to go through, and in fact he looked to ease off to give him some space.
Yeah, that's really nice of Kart Dude there, and honestly, at racing speeds, when a car turns around like that, it's really, really hard to get a car stopped. So really, really good hands and feet there from Kart Dude, and also Truss. Still not getting involved in these two's dispute for the championship, so very gentlemanly through from him Certainly Trust might be winning the Gentleman of the Year at the end of this race, but there's 3 pit stoppers at the moment here, Trev. Andy Holden, Jason Wilkinson and Vantman, so they'll certainly be putting on wet tyres, I assume.
They certainly will be. Look at that, 6, 7, 8 all in the pits. And oh boy, is this cart dude into the pits, and Waffles is there with him. This is incredible stuff. Nothing between them, and Truss elects to go on. You can see the spray now coming off these little Renault Megans. Has Truss left his pit stop too late onto the wet tyres? I'm losing my voice. Oh, it's happened before, it'll happen again, but look at this, Truss electing to go on. Instead of pit there, Waffles and Cart Dude both electing to stay out, and even Big Dick Jono is in the pits, so they're all coming in now for wet tyres, Rob.
Yeah, really interesting strategy there, and I don't know how that's going to play out. Truss is the one in between the 2 boys going for the championship at the moment, and gee, I'd certainly like to think that he and Cart Dude, the 2 teammates, have had a chat about this to see what the strategy would be like, but far out, that's a risk and a half, especially in these conditions. You can see the big old streaks coming off the back of the tyres at some high speeds. They're big old rooster tails, and Jason Wilkinson certainly got the window wiper on there, so he's certainly feeling the effects as well. You can see just how much slower these cars are now, Trev.
Very slow indeed, Rob Dog. And let's keep an eye on the lap times. Like we said, here are Waffles and Cart Dude. Both, well, I think they've swapped, haven't they? They've been swapping all night positions, of course, I'm talking about. But anyway, Waffles and Cart Dude there had a little bit of an advantage, didn't he? But they both came into the pits together, so no time lost on that one. And Haynes saying a good choice from Truss there, electing to stay out. Will he be able to undercut, or overcut, I should say, when he makes his pit stop for the wet tyres? But we will see the pace, like you said, Rob, decrease in this race. And Truss is now into the pits. Oh, here we go. So Truss into the pits. You know the drill. Will he get out ahead of these 2? Has he been able to get a slight advantage from staying out on the dry tyres? Or have Waffles and Truss, Waffles and Siri...
I think Trev had a stroke there. I think you mean Waffles and Cart Dude.
Waffles and Cart Dude. And now Siri's going off as well. Shut up, Siri. I thought I put you on silent, but look at this. Truss coming out of the pits, and it hasn't worked out, Rob. He's behind. He's back where he started in 3rd place.
Yeah, that's interesting. And the gap between Waffles and Cart Dude has actually opened up to 1 second now. So advantage in Waffles' court now.
Here we go, Waffles now. He's got it all in his court, like you mentioned, Rob. 1.2 seconds ahead now. So that gap is as big as it's ever been. Where's Big Dick Jono? He's, well, he's still in no man's land down in P4 there. All on his own, and it's looking at the moment like it could be Waffles with 7 laps to go in this race. 7 laps to go in this championship. It's looking like it might be Waffles, who could be our 4th different champion in 4 separate seasons of SRL Project Cars 2. As Waffles now, that gap is slightly increasing, but do not count out the Taswegian just yet with 7 laps remaining, Rob.
Oh, can never count out the Taswegian. Really, really good racer. And also the other Taswegian behind him, his teammate Truss. Certainly he'll be thinking about what can he do for his teammate here. Probably at this point of the race, it's turned into a 2 against 1 situation. So Truss will be thinking about what can he do for his teammate at the moment. Try and catch up as quick as he can. Maybe give Cart Dude the old push from behind, but I don't think he has to worry about that now because Waffles just went a little bit too deep, and now Cart Dude is within half a second of Waffles a bit. So this is getting a little bit spicy again.
Very, very spicy indeed. Just like the number 19 Curry Laxer, don't skimp on the chili. As Haynes says, I think I'm in for next season, thumbs up. Well, that could be closer than what you think. because we are starting something new next week, my friend, which we would have loved to have you along. But, waffles. Indeed, he's lost a bit of time on that last lap, hasn't he? A 120 there compared to Cart Dude's 119.5. And now the gap is just half a second now between these two. And this is not over yet, folks. Do not switch off your TVs just yet or your monitors, as Waffles there struggling with understeer, it would seem. And I've got to agree with you, Piston Broke 05. He's struggling, and have a look at the rain now, just streaming off the back of these Renault Meganes. And they're difficult in the dry to control, aren't they, on this circuit, Rob? But this is not making it any easier whatsoever.
Yeah, certainly not making it any easier at the moment. And certainly Waffles is struggling with a lot of understeer there. So Cart Dude's car must have been really waiting for the rain, as I said earlier on in the broadcast here. He's very good in the wet weather, so this is where he's got to be making his big moves. So watch out for Cart Dude, but maybe a sneaky dive bomb. He's not a big fan of a dive bomb, but he'll certainly send it in the mail. Maybe call him Postman Pat, because all he does is effing send it.
Yes. Oh, here we go. And he might be sending it sooner than what you think, Rob, as we take a look at this crisscross move. Indeed, he tried to go on the outside. Now he's saying to Waffles, try this one for size. Will he get the slipstream here as well? So we're losing a bit of pace in this race, but it's getting hotter. The track might be getting colder, but this race is getting hotter indeed. And now they're side by side. And what's going to happen here into turn one, I hear you ask? We don't know. Look at the track. Look at these two. Nothing between them at the moment. Geez, talk about this. Imagine this for a last lap finish, Rob. But boy, oh boy, we've still got a few laps to go. Getting into the final stages of this race. And like I said, the championship. Waffle sticks it down the inside. Great respect. How about that between these two? They've barely put a foot wrong tonight. And there's barely been contact between these two either, Rob.
Yeah, these two are two of the cleanest races I've ever been against. So certainly with Trust as well. Some of the cleanest races I've had is with these guys. Certainly door to door. Certainly nose to tail. Just massive respect for these two guys from my experience with them. And also seeing them here tonight. Just plenty of room, and when there's not enough room, just keeping a little bit of a gap to each other so they're not causing any issues. But gee, it's just driver against driver at this point. It's almost a sudden death cook-off from Iron Chef.
Ah, yes. Iron Chef, one of the great shows there. Just one of the many shows. Oh, konnichiwa. One of the many shows I like to watch late at night on SBS. But anyway, enough about my viewing at late at night. Here we go, lap 27 out of 30. Cart Dude's got a good run on him. Is he going to postman pat it and send it down the inside? He slots back in behind him here. He's going to have a little bit of slipstream, you would think. But literally nothing between them. You can fit a cigarette paper between them now down the inside. Waffles. A little bit of history repeating, and neither driver managing to touch each other there. But lap 27, 3 laps to go now until the end of this one. So you've got to say that it could be all over this championship for Big Dick John O'Robb, unless there's a disconnection or that submarine comes to save him. I reckon he's just about done in this championship, and what cruel luck for him, considering the season he has had, of course. But it's been a very even season, you've got to say. As a Cart Dude now on your screen. Oh boy, the tension is absolutely killing me. I've got no fingernails left. And when is he going to send it down the inside? He's only got 3 more laps to go. 3 more tours to get it done. And this is the championship battle on your screen. Trust, don't forget about him if there's an incident. Who's another 3 seconds down. He had front row seats to this battle, Rob, but now he's a little bit too far to have a go unless, like we said, there's contact between the two front runners.
Yeah, certainly that could be the case at this point. They're just racing so well, so respectfully. It's really, really good to see 2 young gentlemen. They're quite young, especially compared to you and I, Trev. You're a bit older than I am, but I'm a bit older than they are, and I got to say, really putting in some great performances here. Actually, no, Waffles is actually a bit older than me. That's a damn lie, but I'm older than Car Dude, so there's something for my resume, I guess. But they're really putting in some great, just really good, solid driving, really old school driving. Lots of car control. No driving aids in this car, apart from maybe a little bit of ABS, so that's about it. And it's just old school racing in the wet, and something that we all love to see.
Certainly is, and is that Fubbles I see? Thank you, Piston Broke 05. So we could have a bit of traffic getting involved here, as I think that might be Fubbles who's coming up to potentially get lapped, so don't forget about that. 2 laps to go in this championship. It's Cart Dude versus Waffles, and it'll take a miracle for Big Dick Jono to be on the podium, or indeed the champion for this season. But have a look at this. 2 laps to go. You said no driving aids allowed in this championship. No aids whatsoever anywhere near these drivers here, as Cart Dude now on the outside. What can he do heading into turn 1, the penultimate lap of this race? Just 8 kilometres now separating these two from the finish line, and potential glory, the glory of being crowned SRL Project Cars 2 champion. And that's something for your resume, Rob, talking about the CV. And look at this Cart Dude biding his time ever so slightly, inching closer and closer to Waffles. And we've got a lap and a half to go here. Do not go anywhere. Don't do anything. Whatever you're doing, watch this. And instead, if it's something serious, call who you need to call. But don't go anywhere, because we've got a rip snorter of a last lap coming up here, Roberto.
Yeah, certainly a rip snorter of a lap, and don't even go if your missus is in the middle of labour. This is more important than your woman giving birth to your child. Honest to God, this could be a make or break situation for your life. This could determine everything in your life, so watch this lap intently.
You certainly should, and we're probably going to go through Labor on Saturday in the federal election, of course. But have a look at this Cart Dude. Is he going to make... Yes, you certainly did. Just tying in beautifully here as last lap of the season now. Is there going to be contact between these two? Who will be crowned the SRL champion for Season 4? Oh, God, I love this stuff. As, look at this, everyone watching on the live stream, Law Waffles down the inside, like he's always done. Cart Dude looks to make the switch, and he's through!
Cart Dude's through!
Cart Dude is through and into the lead, but Waffles is not giving up the lead easily as we head into turns 2 and 3 now. This is for the championship. I cannot stress that enough. I'm nearly going to have a heart attack here. I might be joining...
through, coming up to the chicane. Waffles and Bits on the inside. Plenty of room between both of them there. Waffles and Bits letting him have it at that point there. I think Waffles and Bits is just too far back now to have a dive, and I just spoke absolute slander. Cart Dude locking up. Waffles and Bits taking the opportunity there. Really good manoeuvring by Waffles and Bits. Good respect from these two. Waffles and Bits on the outside here. Cart Dude locking up again. Waffles and Bits trying to get the crisscross. Waffles and Bits on the inside here. This is going to be an absolute great race up to the line, Trev.
But he's going to have the slipstream. Look at this. Round the final corner. Who is going to be the champion? I reckon Cart Dude might have it. I reckon Waffles is too far back. I reckon it's going to be the Tasmanian. The lights flashing. He's trying to do everything he can. But Cart Dude takes the race and the championship for this season. What a finish. What a race. And what a result for the Tasmanian here tonight. Oh my goodness, take a collective breath. How intense was that final lap of this race? Wow. And he is our champion for Season 4.
Yeah, what a great race to watch, actually. Those two, ultimate respect from those two there, racing really clean. Bad luck to Waffles and Bits there. Got really goddamn close. 1 lap away from being champion, almost... I guess Massa-ish, if you will, but certainly he's going to be bounced back next season. Cart Dude there, as you can see there, doing some victory burnouts. He already knows he's champion. He doesn't even need to be told, and he just took the rear end off of his car there, but that's okay as well. Big Dick Jono. Wonder how he's feeling, and well, there you go. That's how he's feeling at the moment. He's not very happy at all, Trip.
That pretty much sums it up. And Big Dick could not penetrate enough tonight, you've got to say, and he's just left spinning around.
He's still going.
Cart Dude Card Dude, our champion, of course. Let's hope he can allow his voice to be shared in the post-race interviews this week as well. As there we go, the final results on your screen. Cart Dude winning and taking the championship. That's right, by 0.3 of a second, separating glory from failure. And Waffles there, disappointment for him, but still a fantastic effort nonetheless. Boy, hasn't he come a long way on this game and indeed in this championship there. Trust taking third, a further 4 seconds back after taking pole position. Then it was Big Dick J in P4. Big Dick Jono there taking second in the championship, or third, I believe. I'm not sure. We'll get that sorted out. And fifth for Jason Wilco, 19. Back to the beta for you, son, in P5 there. 6 for V8 Man. Not a bad race for him in the end after the earlier battles with his teammate and others. Pubbles in P7. Mighty Murph, who was out of it a bit early on, and Andy there in P9. And somebody else has retired. I can't think of who that is as we wait for the drivers to come into the party. And let's hope we can all hear you, fellas. I think we've got Truss into the party at the moment as we wait for Waffles, who in fact is joining now. And we'll just wait for our race winner to come into the party. And if we can't hear our top 3 finishes, please let us know on the comments, in the live stream comments, of course. But what a race. Where do we begin to analyse that one, Rob? Plenty of respect, like you said, between both of them.
Well, let's start from third to second to first. Trust, really good race there from you, mate. Putting it on pole. Showing a lot of respect for the top 2 there between Waffles and Cartu, just letting them finish what they started from the start of the season here. But a really good race from you, mate, and really, really respectful of the championship there.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah, for sure. I had to look after my teammate too. You know, I put it on pole, but, you know, I had the pace where I could have, you know, had him down the straight, but like you said, they're going for a championship and whatnot. So I just sort of sat behind and, you know, and then tried to protect my teammate as much as I could without taking him out of the race or anything, or, you know, interrupting the race that was going on between them. Like, I went over the finish line at the finish and I was like, oh, is that it? I was just, you know, in awe of the race, and that was in front of me. Like, it was awesome to watch, sitting behind him. So, yeah, congrats to Akadi and on the win, and Waffles for P2.
Yeah, fantastic there, Trust, and a really good race to watch for us as well. Where we watched a little bit from your rooftop there, but we'll go on to our second place finisher of the race, and also second place in the points. Waffles, great racing from you tonight, buddy. Really, lots of respect. Sad that you missed out on the championship, but boy, what a great bloody drive, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Congrats to Car Dude. At least I made him work for it. I tried everything. There's the third corner, fourth corner is where I lost it, but he's putting the pressure on. I did my best. Can't be too unhappy with second in the championship.
Well, certainly you'll be up there next season, of course, buddy. You're one of the hardest racers I've come across myself, so you'll be there soon.
Cheers, thanks.
So, I don't know whether we've got Cart Dude in the party at the moment.
Sure
Rob?
do.
Oh, we sure do. Oh, I take it back. Waffles there, we heard previously there, Rob. Very, very noble of him. I think he still wanted that championship, though. I don't think he gave a shit about Cart Dude, but still very respectful between the two, like we said. And don't worry, Wilco, we will get to what's happening next week. Don't you worry about that. But it's time to talk to our race winner and our championship winner. He's your favourite Tasmanian. He's also my favourite Tasmanian. I speak of Cart Dude 45. Mate, talk us through that race. What a race.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't actually realise it was the last couple of laps till... Yeah, there was only a couple of laps left. Because we were just racing hard but clean, which was... it's probably the most enjoyable race of the season. And I fluked that pass around the outside and just held on. But it could have gone either way. So, yeah, I don't know what to really say.
Well, Cardi, you're the first two-time champion of this league. How does that feel?
Yeah. I haven't really thought about that actually, but it must just be something with touring cars, Rob. I go good in touring cars.
Well, there you have it. Fantastic car, dude. An awesome performance tonight, mate. Like we said, the
Thank you.
the first double champion in SRL that we've had, mate. Congratulations on the season. I know it got cut a little bit short, but nevertheless, mate, you are the championship and you earned it and you deserve it, mate. Congratulations, and we will see you again next week for some exciting stuff which we're yet to announce. But congratulations to you, Cart Dude.
Yes. Thank you, boys. And yeah, next week's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it.
Awesome, good stuff. Thank you, Cart Dude, our champion there. And, well, Rob, we're just about out of time, but would you like to take the honours of announcing what we have in store next week for all of our viewers? I'm not sure whether you've got the Facebook chat open, but
Yes, I do.
you certainly do. And, well, something in the GT3 variety. Am I close?
Yes, you are close. In fact, we did talk about it during the stream tonight. We are running the Acura NSX GT3 Championship. Will be a 15-minute qualifying session with this championship, an hour time race, which means you and I, Trev, we need to try and bullshit away through an hour of entertainment.
It should be nothing, Rob. I bullshit my way through 7.5 hours at work each and every day. But
I've done 22 years of bullshitting through my life. It's fine. We've got it covered, mate. There will be accelerated tyre wear, which means it will be very, very spicy for those, especially really hard on their tyres. It's going to be hard to probably make it through 45 minutes with a set of soft tyres or even maybe hard tyres. I'm not too sure at the moment. There will be 5 rounds. The first round will be at Monza GP. Second round will be Zolder GP, really good race there, and apparently it's going to be a dry to wet. Fuji, and then the last 2 races will be Long Beach and then Bathurst to round out the season, and that's sounding like a very, very fun championship to watch, Trev.
Yes, that's right. It starts in Monza, of course, in Italy with a dry race, like you said, round 1 and then round 5 finishing like we've done for a few seasons, well, everyone except for this one, at Bathurst on the 20th of June. Perfect timing because, F1 comes out, I think, on the 25th, a little bit earlier, depending on what version of the game you are getting as well. So that's going to be fantastic stuff. I think we're just about done here, Rob. Another season. Where's it gone? Another season down, and, some exciting stuff happening for next week. But thanks for joining us for another season and another week.
Yeah, no, it was great to watch, and I guess we'll get the full points table out. Hopefully, we can announce the actual results next week. But certainly, Card Dude is champion, and it'll be good to see who won the teams championship as well. Because I've got a good feeling it might be Sodi Motorsport.
I think Cart Dude's taken all before him tonight. But thank you, everybody, like we say each and every week, for your company tonight. Don't forget to tune in to the spicy Acura NSX GT3 Championship, round 1 at Monza from next Thursday night, live and exclusive on the Kid Buyers channel from 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. A little bit different for you, Rob, in your part of the world. But thank you for everybody for joining us once again this week. Apologies for the Russian submarine earlier in the evening when it all went black. But anyway, I was back, and we hope you enjoyed it all. Be kind to one another, and we will see you next week. It's bye for now.